Hello everyone. Welcome to the first session of this course. The fact that you are here shows that you are passionate enough to journey towards your goals. But before you pick up your tools and before we dive deep into the process of building games, you must first understand what are games? Obviously, we start with definitions. So according to the dictionary, a game is a construct that organizes play through a series of rules for the purpose of achieving a set of goals, overcoming an obstacle, and or attaining an objective. Let's break this down. A game is a construct means that there are some kind of defined patterns or sequence of activities. How are these defined? Through rules. And to what end? A preset objective. This definition implies voluntary participation. Think about this for a moment. Would that make the act of doing laundry a game? Another definition was proposed by French sociologist Roger Caillos. A game is an activity that must have the following characteristics. 1. Chosen for its light-hearted character. Separate, that is, it is done at a particular time and place. Uncertain, the outcome is unforeseeable. Non-productive, as in participation doesn't accomplish anything useful in real life. Governed by rules, that which are different from everyday life. And finally, it is fictitious, for the purpose of entertainment. Could that mean that anything that is fun is a game? For example, staring at a spoon could be fun to you. It's definitely unproductive. The most apt and extensive classification of games has been provided by computer game designer Chris Crawford, as he uses a series of dichotomies to define the term. Creative expression is art if it is made for its own beauty, but if it is made for money, it is entertainment. Examples of non-interactive pieces of entertainment are movies and books. If a piece of entertainment is interactive, it is a plaything. A plaything on its own without a goal is called a toy. Note, a toy can be an element in a game. Example, a tennis racket is an element in the game of tennis. If a plaything has a goal, it is called a challenge. Now, a challenge where there is no active competitor is called a puzzle. Keep in mind, a puzzle has a definite solution. If a challenge has competitors, which means multiple entities trying to achieve the goal during the same event, it's a conflict. When the competing entities can only outperform the opponent but not attack them to interfere with their performance, like an Olympic game, it is called a competition. However, if attacks are allowed, then the conflict qualifies as a game. That's about as detailed as it can get when you want to define the term. Yet, one wonders, what is the objective of games? What can you achieve by making a game? There are only four things to remember here. A game will result in a certain level of pleasure experienced by its participants. It hones or develops a certain set of skills. It can serve as the basis for learning new things. More often than not, it involves an element of chance, testing the player's luck. It is only obvious that such a broad range of definitions and interpretations of this simple term arose from the existing variety in the type of games that are played. Let's have a quick look. Broadly speaking, the classification would be tabletop games, physical games, electronic games, and video games. Tabletop games are ones that are normally played on tables or any other flat surface. These would include board games, card games, tile games, puzzles, and pen and paper RPG games. Physical games are defined as competitive physical activity that aims to use, maintain, or improve physical ability and skills while providing enjoyment to its participants. The two categories in this are children games and sports. An electronic game is a game that employs electronics to create an interactive system with which players can play. For the sake of distinction, I have listed it as a whole separate type. Examples are arcade games, whack-a-mole, pinball, etc. Notice, all of these lack video display. A video game is a type of electronic game that involves human interaction with a user interface to generate visual feedback on a video device such as a TV screen or a computer monitor. Home consoles, online games, mobile apps, and VR devices are the types of media available for video games. All this description indubitably proves that games are an important part of our lives. This begs the question, why do we play games? The answer is simple. People play games because they are filled with elements of fun. Fun is joy. This means that during games, players experience emotions that are closely related to the main factors of happiness. But then, how do you define fun? When you look around you, you will see that the concept of fun changes depending on the person thinking of it. Well, turns out that humans are not as complicated as they say they are. We've got what Dr. Stephen Rees calls the 16 basic human motivators and their objective desires. Here they are. Let's understand this with an example. Ever wonder why games like Candy Crush or Bejeweled are popular? It is because it is striking the motivation for order. Something inside your brain is telling you, that's all messed up. Tidy it up now. That's it. It's as simple as that. Anything that satisfies a desire from one of the 16 motivators can be considered as pleasurable, and anything fun has the potential of being a game. Finally, let's look at some of the very commonly listed benefits of games. Physical activity, fitness and nutrition, hand-eye coordination, social skills, increased learning ability, sportsmanship and fair play, reduced stress, teamwork, overcoming pain, and making people happy. Now, isn't that just delightful? So, what are you waiting for? Go on and play.